Hello, IGN. My name is Jose Otero, and I'm here with Brian Altano.
Wahoo.
Wahoo. That was the most unenthusiastic wahoo I have ever heard from you. But we are here participating in IGN's big 125 Nintendo sort of Let's Plays.
Yeah.
We're looking back at a company that turns 125 years old this year in 2014.
Or young. Years young.
Yeah, or years young. But that's a long time,
That's
man.
insane.
The Wall Street Journal was 125 also this year. But they don't make video games. Nintendo does currently. And while it's true that for most of that history, they didn't make video games, we still want to look back at our favorite games that this company was responsible for making. And this is one of them. This is a huge highlight because this, ladies and gentlemen, is Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
Oh, man. What a wonderful game this is.
Yes, unique collaboration between Nintendo and Squaresoft. And it was the first Mario RPG title, pretty much. Yeah, for the most part. At least a dedicated role-playing game.
Yeah, and this was a really awesome era, right? I mean, Mario was kind of flying high with fresh off of Super Mario World. The Super Nintendo was doing great. It was great, a huge system with everybody. Square was doing crazy stuff with the Final Fantasy franchise. Some would say making some of the best Final Fantasies ever made, and really cementing their knowledge and their ability to just nail an amazing RPG. And these things all came together at the same time for something that's, it's not a Super Mario platforming game, and it's not sort of as dark or as sort of deeply entrenched in story the same way your classic Final Fantasies are. But they met halfway and they made this amazing product in Super Mario RPG. And as you can see, it's got this really cool, really different sort of top-down 3/4 kind of isometric view.
Yep, that's right.
It's got some characters you've never seen. And it's got these sort of like pre-rendered graphics that we've never really seen Mario games do. And it's got,
its own set of characters like Gino and Malo. Yeah, no Luigi. You're definitely saving Peach and you see Bowser. But I think you absolutely hit it on the head. At the time, in the 90s, Squaresoft was at the top of its game as far as the RPG genre went.
Yeah.
And there wasn't this big divide. Wow, look at that.
Got a
Holy
little
cow.
Mode 7 Mario Kart action.
Yeah, a little bit here. So we're just letting the attract mode roll at the beginning just to kind of give you a taste of everything here. But no, absolutely. This was sort of a huge deal. And right off the bat, Nintendo and Square sort of worked together to figure out, okay, well, Mario shouldn't hold a sword in an RPG. What can we make him? Oh, well, he uses hammers. Let's do that. Or, hey, let's base these abilities around platforming, like jumping. Even, oh my God, Birdo. Jesus Christ, I forgot. I forgot about all of this. Yeah, so weird. But this was pretty much the bomb when it came out.
Absolutely.
And for a lot of people, it was a big. Okay, I could watch this attract mode all day. Let's just jump in at this point. And so this. Again, this sort of set, we'll start a new game just to give you sort of a taste from the beginning if you haven't seen these before. And much like in the Zelda games, you have to name him by what his name is, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. There's something wrong with you if you don't name him Mario.
Yeah, but using the isometric design, let's go back to that for a second. They were smart in hiding secrets and things that you can find. Yeah. And there were visual sort of tricks to everything. But I will agree with Brian that the art style that they decided for this game hasn't really held up that well. Sort of like that hybrid, I want to say almost like that rotoscope look that Rare was doing, I feel, a little bit of Donkey Kong Country.
Absolutely, where everything sort of looks like it's made out of clay. And, I would love to see this game remade. There's something an interesting thing about this game is that it's actually not very long. Yep. You can finish it in... God, I don't even know. Just a few hours. Not like 2 or 3, but you can probably see most of what this game has to offer in about 8 or 9 hours. Yep. Which is makes it perfect for a weekend. And another thing I really like about this game is it sort of starts off like your traditional Mario game. Bowser steals the princess, but that's not really the story of this game. That's actually just a part of it. Yeah. Because you end up sharing a common enemy with Bowser, and he joins your team. So yeah, you've got your classic RPG gameplay where you see a character and you approach them and you're put into a battle mode. But here it's very action-based. Now, something Jose's doing is kind of timing his attacks to hit these enemies at the right time, which gets further and further in the game when you start getting some of the platforming attacks. Jumping on them, you can equip boots, new hammers, you get new items. You get other members in your party, such as Bowser, Gino, who's this sort of like ninja-looking wizard guy made out of wood. I really like him. He's a really cool character. It's kind of a shame he hasn't really returned. He would have made a great assist trophy in something like Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And this is the start of what went on to be, the Paper Mario franchise, the Mario and Luigi franchise, which, we've done some Let's Plays on those games too. It's really cool to see these ideas come together for the first time. We've never really seen a collaboration like this with Square Enix and Nintendo since then, to really just make a straight-up Mario RPG.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if which position he had, but it was either the producer or the director of this game left Square and moved over to Alpha Dream. And Alpha Dream currently makes the Mario and Luigi RPG series. To this day, he's still involved in this series.
Interesting.
I forget his name, but we got a chance to talk to him last year when Dream Team was coming out. And that was kind of a big surprise to me. I was just like, holy cow, at least he's still a part of this series. And for the most part, after this game, the RPG ideas for Mario split in two, right? Like on one side, you had the Mario and Luigi RPG series, and then on the other side, you had Paper Mario.
Yeah.
And where that was going. Oh, wow, these guys are getting old. And so, as Brian pointed out, it has an active system where if I specifically time when I'm about to get hit or when I hit them, you'll see that second punch happen. And you hear a sound, a chime.
Yep.
Notice something, though. We started the game. They don't mention any of that to you.
No,
they just throw you headfirst into an RPG.
Yeah, you kind of figure it out as you're going along.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. And in this case, it's actually then something they explain later. We're like, hey, did you know this was here? And I remember a friend at school when this game came out he got really good at that combo system. I was kind of not so good, especially when I got the hammer. It took me a little longer because once you get a different weapon, the timing changes just a hair, or at least the animation is different.
Yeah.
And there she is in peril.
Yeah, you can sort of tell right off the bat this is a very interesting Mario game, because within the first, 5 minutes, you've already got a Bowser battle, and you already got the princess hanging there, which usually you have to go through like hundreds of levels to get. And I don't think a lot of people really knew what they were getting into when this game first came out, which is what really fascinates me about it, because there were so many good ideas being thrown around by both these companies at the time. So to see them come together and make something like this that actually turned out to be very successful was really cool and very special for gamers at the time.
So let's do a jump, a special move. The special moves based around like Mario's repertoire again. And yeah, I think you're right. Like a lot of what you point out, where this was just sort of an unprecedented relationship builder between these two. Look, there's chain chomps holding up the chandeliers. How cool is that?
You got to attack them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that. And just setting each button to be. Why was I wasting my time hitting Bowser? That wasn't going to do anything. I forgot. It's been a while. So I keep getting the defense wrong. If you notice, Mario's taking each hit, which luckily it's only one.
Sure.
But if he blocks it right, he'll sort of squinch down for a second.
Yep. And you do get some cool stuff later on in this game. Like you get some projectiles. Mario gets his classic fireball. He gets hammers to throw. And some of his side characters get magic attacks and stuff. And it does become very interesting when Bowser sort of begrudgingly joins your party. Yeah.
It's a chain reaction.
So corny. I love it.
Yeah, this also had, this was during that Renaissance period in the mid-90s where RPG localizations really started to take themselves seriously.
Yeah.
The people involved were specifically trying really hard to not have the spelling errors and the grammar errors and all of the lack of character that was sort of part of that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was really cool to see that. Right, this is one of the first Nintendo games that really started having a very humorous script, and that's carried on with a lot of their.
Look at Bowser. Yeah, no, really humorous script and just a different way of sort of looking at it. And
how tall is this castle, by the way?
Yeah, by the way,
they're falling for like a mile.
And it's sort of an attitude that lives on still in Mario and Luigi RPG, I want to say, and in Paper Mario, because both of them are really not just well written but very humorous takes. Wow, how high is that jump? Wish I could do that.
I know.
Mario 64 or something. That's wild.
It's a very touching moment here.
Yeah.
She's got to kind of swing over.
Even her instruction helping you telling you, hey, hit the chain, don't hit him. That's something that you saw in some Square RPGs, I want to say, around that time. And this was just one of the great collaborations and probably one of the biggest drop balls, because since then you don't really see Nintendo didn't really partner with Square to do them again. Alpha Dream was formed. They did one thing. Paper Mario became another thing. I do kind of wish, and we've talked to the developer actually on Mario and Luigi Dream Team. We talked to Alpha Dream and just kind of mentioned, hey, it'd be great to bring this back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there are fans out there who would love to see this stuff.
And here we've got, this is the title screen, and it's basically this giant sword who is their new common enemy. He's a talking sword with angry eyebrows.
Yeah, yep, I remember that. And this was a comment.
He's landed himself into Bowser's castle, which he's just like, get out of my house, dude.
And
I do love this this overworld, by the way. Like, there's something. It's just such an incredibly charming game.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see a lot of stuff that you don't really see in other games. Like, for example, here's we had a glimpse into Mario's house for one of the first times, where I presume he lives with Luigi.
Yeah, there's no Luigi in this game at all, except for one tiny reference in a dreamland that you go to later on. Minor spoiler, but you do find a star. You're seeing all these wishing stars, like in this cloudy field, and one of them says, "I want to be big and strong, just like my brother Mario."
Oh, that's right. You can't play as Luigi in this game.
Yeah, he's not in this game, and at least to my knowledge, I remember him not being here.
Yeah.
But I remember that was kind of a localization thing too, because if you look at the Japanese translation, there is no Mario reference there at all.
Which is interesting, because it's like there's a lot of really cool little nods in this game that I absolutely love. Tons of Mario characters show up. And you do get some really cool Easter eggs. Like, I remember the one part in particularly, you head under a staircase because it's got this sort of isometric MC Escher approach to a lot of the levels.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is great.
And then Mario's silent treatment, because they turned Mario into a silent protagonist.
Yeah.
They fixed that later with the Alpha Dream games, where
absolutely.
You get sort of the enunciating in Italian.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there are little cool Easter eggs all over the game. There's one in particularly where you walk into a section of a castle, you go into a stairwell, and you come out as 8-bit Mario, and he's sort of flat and flipping around. And to me, that's sort of the precursor to what went on to be the Paper Mario games and stuff. Like, I feel like they really took that art style, and it's cool to see this overworld too, because we got glimpses of something like that in Super Mario World, and here it's obviously very different. And yeah, you get to see us team up with Bowser for the first time.
For sure. All right.
But yeah.
Well, we've kind of said enough for now about Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. Thanks very much for watching, and for more Let's Plays for all these Nintendo games, make sure you keep it right here at IGN.